Alright, squad, this is going to be the wrap up session for tonight. This is going to be take 2 because now the infection has made its way into the house now. So I'm about to wrap this up, make this quick. Okay, the old world had small pockets of water. This is the silica world. I didn't mean to draw it so small. However, you see the trees are going up in the clouds. You see the gigantic sun. It's all self-explanatory. Okay, so our brains and bodies were more than likely and most definitely for sure different in this type of habitat. Now the habitat that we live in today is predominantly water, and the land has broken apart. Okay, there's a smaller sun. Now there's the silicon moon chip, which sends down a square wave. Now what is salt water? Salt water is metal water, because salt's a metal, and it's one of the metals that break down that are water soluble. So regardless if the seawater is water, if you drink it, you will still taste salt. It's disgusting, but that would make it have magnetic properties. Okay, so if we intake salt, that would also give us magnetic properties, but light has chemical, magnetic, and radiant properties as is anyway. So understand or overstand that this moon pulling on the water is definitely affecting that, because the moon is a silicon chip, and we know that sometimes magnets and stuff like that are semiconductors. That's what the silicon chip is, a semiconductor. But sometimes other metals and stuff are used, and other pieces of metal can be magnetized, and we know that RF frequencies and frequencies is caused by magnetism, light. Okay, because that's how that works, waves of light and sound. Okay, because wind can push water, and water can make wind, and wind can make electricity or give power. So can water, moving, the flow of energy. You see, but energy is EL, light, or electricity, movement. Okay, voltage, voltaic action. Now what I'm trying to get at, okay, in this world a corruption came along and destroyed all this and stripped all the metals and all that good stuff. The silica, the precious metals, you know, is continually being destroyed. The crystals too. All this stuff plays in, you know, all this has to do with it. What do you think quarries are? Quarries work rocks, earth metals, you know, stuff like that. Okay, this is the glitch, the serpent brain, because you see how your brainstem is bent. That's in that the F, the Facebook, the little F thing I showed you, the bent head and neck brainstem. This is one when it's straight, and the water in the brain, cerebral spinal fluid, that goes and carries the conscious thought and electrical current throughout the rest of the body, straight down the path. This is a colored brain that's surrounded in a H2F2O fluid, or hydrofluoro solution, and is bent. That's a moon brain. Semiconductive. How can you conduct or really be that? I mean, water does conduct electricity, but water on top of a computer conducts malfunction. Okay, the fluid that is inside of the computer, or that is inside the organism that's supposed to be there, this promotes normal function, conductive function, because this water isn't, the brain isn't submerged and doing fission and malfunctioning and also colored over. The brain is in a natural state and what it would be in our corrupted 666 carbon meat bodies, but this is the way it's supposed to function at its peak performance. But this can be developed to a greater potential. This is what the brain becomes to. An amoeba submerged in water type of solution brain. And the ventricles, don't think the ventricles aren't working, but this solution is getting to your body, which makes you non-conductive, because it's not the cerebral spinal fluid it's just getting sucked into the ventricles and distributed. It's this shit too. Okay, so what I'm getting at is, if the world didn't have all this water on it, there wasn't this second large body of consciousness. We were the consciousness. Now you have the land that's split up, obviously fission, And that's what happens with the brain, which is why people act like monkey amoebas. Okay? Fission of the land. Climate change, because everything is no longer connected. This large body of water is now here. Moon chip, silicone moon chip, sends down the square wave. It pulls on the water. What do you think it does to the solution in the brain? And this solution in the brain isn't just hydrofluoro. It's like if you're on medicine, sometimes people take lithium. There's other chemicals on here that are in medicine that are in this chemical elemental chart that are also combined, that are supposed to help all this retardation that's being promoted. But this is, you want to help it, you got to drain this and grow this back to the normal size and make sure it's not colored over like a fucking hippie bus. Okay? Like a tie-dye shirt. This is the problem. And this curved brain and brainstem, this is a semi-conductive serpent brain. You know how snakes, they with their tongue, all they doing is licking the air, but that's their sense of smell. Come on, man. If you're a serpent-minded person, you're very, very, very like reptilian in nature. You do a lot of basic, primitive, animalistic stuff. That's because you're at the root chakra. Where do snakes crawl? On the earth. Serpents crawl on the fucking earth. Yes, they go up on trees. They have to wrap around and go up, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. They're predominantly on the ground. Okay? That is the root. That is the base. That's where the feet go. Would you let somebody take the bottom of their shoe or foot and rub it down your face? Okay, well think about a snake. That's what a snake does all day. Its body's where feet go. So with that type of brain, a snake's brain, what type of mentality you think comes with that down to the low ground type of mentality? And if you have this type of brain and you have this moon pulling on the water, that's forcing water to move. And then if you're a body of water, we have this predominantly large body of water. Well, if we are so-called a body of water, and being so because these would be rivers that pour into the sea of the water that's in your body. See, as rivers go to the sea. You see what I'm saying? We are the earth, and the earth is us. When the earth lost and got stripped, we got stripped and lost. It was augmented, we got augmented. You see? This is how it all unfolds before your eyes. And the truth is that you're walking, you're just like a walking satellite dish, a transmitter. And you have great power and potential. And slowly but surely the switches have been turned off over the ages. Just like this. Just like light being turned off over the ages. Okay? So this is what you have to do. You have to turn it back on. You have to flip these switches again. And the only way to do that is to combat thyself, because you're your worst enemy. Being deceived, we deceive ourselves. And we allow others to deceive us as well. Okay? So you have to put aside the bullshit. You have to remove the reptilian parts in order to get back to this state, in order to rise from this state to the divine state, which is this. And then this becomes a divine this, not no chaotic bullcrap. But we all know that, sound waves are, your voice is going to look like this on the meter. It's going to be squiggly line, but you have to zoom in and kind of get microscopic with it to see the way the waveforms come out. But the foundation of everything is the ohm. I already told you. The ohm sine wave, harmony, harmonics, perfection, disharmonic, chaos, and imperfection. And like I said, there are still imperfections within this because I'm not a perfect artist, but I'm pretty sure that the creators made us with imperfections for a reason, because I mean, nothing is perfect. I mean, you could try to be perfect as much as you want to be, but nothing really is perfect. So on that note, I hope that this last little video for tonight helps break this down. But the magic is definitely within the elements. It all boils back to alchemy. But like I said, this is like a Shadowrun day and age. It's like Man, Magic, and Machine. Definitely. You know, and okay, to tell you the truth, you're already chipped out. But when it becomes to the point where you literally start plugging into this thing, you have definitely, you're gone off this, you're just completely gone off this world. If you want to connect yourself to this shit, that's insanity. Because we were connected to it. How the hell do you think the world was the way it was at one time? This is what the degradation of this has become to, and then this is the degradation of what we become to, because we were this and this, but this and this has become this and this. This, we went from that to this, and from this is going to be to this. Mark my words. I told you. It's plain to see. It's plain to see.